this idea of mindfulness has been around for eons, thousands of years, that people have been practicing mindfulness in one way or another. And mindfulness is a type of meditation. It's not all meditation is not mindfulness, and all mindfulness does not have to be sitting in the lotus position, chanting or oming out or anything else. We don't have to be absolutely perfectly still to be mindful, but we can enhance that degree of mindfulness in our lives when we are experiencing the practices that I'm going to go through this month with you to give us that greater sense of mindfulness. You can be mindful while you are working. You can be mindful while you're, ironing clothes or washing dishes or taking a walk. There are all kinds of ways in which we can enhance the experience of mindfulness in our lives. And when we do that, we can actually begin to eliminate a lot of the stresses in our lives. Stress is caused by spending too much time either in the past or in the future. It's having things that have happened to us in our past still have a hold on us. Things that we haven't let go of yet, things that we haven't gotten to a place where we could forgive or to actually even release them from our experience. There's still a charge to those events that happened in our lives in the past. Or we are stressed out about something that's going to happen in the future, something that hasn't yet occurred, something that we're worried about, or that we have somehow built into a bigger thing than it is. We catastrophize things very easily in our minds. These amazing vehicles that we have for thinking can also be some of the most detrimental things to us. Is this brain that we have. It's designed to think. It's designed to process information. It's designed to keep us safe and to keep our bodies functioning. But it can also be a hindrance to how we experience life, because we become lost in the thoughts, and the thoughts take on a life of themselves. If you ever had that experience where you all of a sudden you see something and it triggers a thought, and then you go down a whole path of, oh my God, what is that going to be? Like, just a simple one would be like, all of a sudden the traffic slows down in front of us and we start to think, oh my God, am I going to be late for work? Oh no, what if there's an accident up ahead? How long is this going to keep me delayed? What am I going to do? Is there a better route I should take? Maybe I should get off here and try something else. You see how quickly our minds just go. Like if this happens in 10, 15 seconds, we go from the traffic is slowed down to, oh my God, this is a horrible thing and I'm going to be late. Or there's somebody up there that's injured or things like that. We catastrophize it in our minds. It just goes crazy on us. At least that's been my experience. I'm assuming it's most people's experience too. That these brains, these wonderful mechanisms that are designed to keep our bodies functioning and our lives going throughout our daily existence, can be our worst nightmare too. So, practicing mindfulness is about reducing the opportunity the brain has to take us down those rabbit holes, to take us into a place where we are stressed out, where we are feeling high anxiety or anger or fear or any of those emotional traits that actually grow into something catastrophic in our lives. Stress is one of the most contributing factors to illness in our lives. Stress that we feel, we feel stress in our bodies. We internalize it. It changes our chemical structure in our bodies and in our brains, because it's producing all of these different hormones that are a reaction to the stress that we're seeing from the environmental stress that we're experiencing. These hormones and chemical reactions in our bodies start to denigrate our cells and to cause inflammation and different things that our bodies are trying to do in a misguided attempt to protect us. Our body is reacting to the stress in a negative way that actually begins to build in there. I remember when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2014, I remember one of the first thoughts that came to my mind was, this is from holding things in. This is from not saying what I need to say. And this is from allowing that stuff inside of me to build and become a stressor. And I made a commitment to myself to not hold things back anymore, to not, to keep things, trying to control things and try to make things, fit in the world better, that I was done doing that because this is how it had reacted in my body. Fortunately, it was a limited experience and everything's wonderful now, but, I think stress contributes to our illnesses more than just about anything else around there. I mean, it's certainly a huge factor in our health and well-being. And so if we can find ways that we can eliminate the stress and not experience it quite so much anymore, I think we can definitely get to a healthier place and a place of greater peace in our lives, a place where we are in the world, but the world isn't controlling us. You know, we exist in the world. We have to deal with the things that happen in the world, but we don't have to have stress around it. Currently, I'm going through that process of buying a home, and there's all kinds of, things that could really lead me into a place of feeling stressful. And yet there's this overwhelming sense within me like it's just a process. And I take each step as it comes and get through into the end. Hopefully, tomorrow I'll be signing my documents, but, anyway, it's just every day there's something else that the loan processors need to get everything completed. And it's like, I could go down that rabbit hole of like, oh my God, this is never going to be done. What am I going to do? I put all this money into it. I've made arrangements for movers, all of this stuff, but I don't feel any stress over it. And I do attribute a lot of that to my spiritual practices, to, feeling grounded and centered more in my life through the practice of mindfulness, through the practices of meditation, through prayer, and all of the work that I do on a daily basis to keep myself at that place of peace. We can be a victim or in the effect of the world, or we can be an observer of it and know that it's happening and allow it to be what it is and just let it be. We have a choice in every moment. How are we going to react to every moment that we experience? So I'm going to take us through a little practice of mindfulness tonight to alleviate some of the stress. This is a little bit more of a guided meditation than I usually do, because what I'm going to do is have you bring to mind something that might be causing you stress right now. And then we're going to go through a series of questions just to begin to explore it. So again, mindfulness is not about eliminating all of our thoughts. It's about changing the reaction that we have to the thoughts as they come up. And by asking some of these questions, we can begin to get clarity about what's going on in our lives. And when we get clarity about it, it doesn't become such a thing. We actually see it for what it is, and we have that opportunity to let it be and not be in a state of reaction to it. So some of the questions that I'll ask are clarifying questions. One of them that has been asked to me by one of my mentors for years is, when I'm caught in a story, she looks at me very sweetly and says, "Is that true, honey?" So it's like, is that true? Is that exactly what is happening, or is it something I've built up? There are levels of trueness too. Like, yes, on the fundamental surface level, this is true. But have I created something bigger because of it? Have I taken it and catastrophized it and made it into this giant thing that is now a stressor in my life? Or is it just what it is? And so that's some of the kind of questions that we're going to ask as I go through this meditation. And so we'll have a little bit of background music here and just get ourselves in a position of being comfortable. You can choose however you want to. Some people like to lay down while they meditate. That makes me go to sleep. That's up to you. You can sit on the floor. You can sit in a chair, however you want to do. You can even walk around as you're listening to this meditation if that is more beneficial to you. Sometimes that movement can be a release of pent-up energy that is making the situation worse. And so sometimes that's helpful for you too. But however you do it, it doesn't really matter. I like to sit in a straight chair. I like to kind of sit up straight, right, just pretty much like I am right now. I have armrests, so my arms are on the armrest. You can also lay them in your lap, just so they're supported and not there's no tension there. You want to make sure that that your breath is flowing easily, so that you're not, like, if I lean forward like this, it kind of inhibits my breathing. And so I want to have my neck more erect, but I don't want it to start, stiff and straight like this, because then that's also tension in my body. I want my arms and shoulders to be loose, so that they're just, they're there. I know that they're there. I feel supported by the chair. My arms are on the armrest. I can feel my back against the chair. You can lean back if you like to. If you want it, if that works for you, you can lean back in the chair. I like my feet on the ground. It kind of makes me feel more connected and grounded and centered. There's a tangible anchor that's keeping me knowing, without even having to think about it, I know that my body is safe. And so, however it works for you, if you want to sit cross-legged, sit in the lotus position, if that works for you, that's great. If you want to, like I said, lay down on a bed or a couch or whatever, that's okay too. If you'd like to do a little movement, you can do that as we're going through the meditation. It really is truly up to you. I suggest that you try different ways, not necessarily in the same meditation, but try different ways to see what is an optimal meditation position for you. That's one of the things I love about the spiritual practice of meditation. There really isn't a lot of rules to it. You can really do it in so many different ways, in so many different experiences of it, and places, and methods and modalities. And so it's just really a wonderful practice. So tonight we're going to do this mindfulness meditation to look at stress in our lives and see if we can get to a greater sense of peace through that. So I just invite you to get comfortable, like I said. I like to close my eyes. It works better for me if I'm not having that visual distraction. And then I like to just take in some breaths to connect me with my body a little bit better. I don't usually change the flow of my breath. I just am more conscious about breathing. And I just do that for a moment or two to get myself feeling at peace in my body. If anything in my body starts to want my attention, if there's a twitch or a pain or a cramp or anything like that, I just breathe into it. I don't try to push it away, but I just acknowledge it. Let it be. Sometimes I will consciously direct breath to that area. And I do that just by visualizing the breath moving in through my nostrils and down my body to that particular spot. And letting it release anything that's there, any tension or pain or anything that's there, and just allowing that breath to move on out. So now I'd like you to bring to mind something that is a bit stressful in your life right now. It doesn't have to be the most stressful thing. Just something that comes to your awareness. Don't judge what comes to your mind right away. Just let it be. Just accept it for what it is. Remember, a key component to mindfulness is non-judgment. So whatever comes to your awareness first off is perfectly fine to work with. And just begin to notice your thoughts around the situation. I want you to acknowledge whether this situation is an experience from the past or something you're anticipating in the future. If it is a past experience, what is coming up for you around it? Are there other people involved? Is this a regret over something you've done? Is it a sense of anger or maybe betrayal over something you feel was done to you? Is there anything from the past attached to this thing that's causing you stress right now? And just sit with it for a moment. Watch your thoughts without judging them. Just become aware of them. What are the future thoughts around this stressful situation? Is there any thing that's going to be happening in the future because of it? Is there anything you need to do in the future to help release it from you? For instance, maybe some forgiveness work is needed for yourself or for someone else involved in the situation. Remember, forgiveness is not about letting somebody off the hook. It's about not letting the situation have a hold on you anymore. Forgiveness is the ultimate freedom from stress. Is there anything I need to forgive in order to release the situation? Is there any anxiety within me about what might be happening in this situation? Is there anything that I feel like I need to try to control or to change? are my fears about this situation? What am I afraid that is going to happen? Or what am I afraid of that might not happen? Am I afraid of my reaction or how I'm going to deal with this situation? Or am I afraid of somebody else's reaction? Remember to allow these thoughts to come up without judgment, but simply with the intention of becoming clear and aware of what is moving through my thoughts around this situation. Now bring your awareness back to your breath, back to this very present moment. Is there any part of this stressful situation that you can do something right now? As you're focusing on your breath in this very present moment, what part of this stressful situation is alive in you? It's easy to remember as we focus on our breath that in this very moment, nothing else is needed. That we are safe in our breath, that our bodies are safe where they are, that this stress does not have any effect in the very present moment. The stress exists in the past or in the future. But right here and right now, everything is perfect. Okay, I'm gonna take in a couple more deep breaths. Maybe begin to gently move in your seat. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All of life's stress exists in the past or in the future. It's not here with us in this very instant. Because in this very instant, everything is complete